What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, we're creating a sketch illustration of Baba Chops from Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Let's begin today's lesson by creating some guidelines to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So we'll start at the very top in the middle. It's going to lightly work our way down with a straight line coming all the way down towards the bottom of our page. Let's move back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now you want to use these two lines to help us create a large circle in the center of our page to define the size of the head. So from that center point, let's move up to right about here. Just going to mark this off. Now we want to measure this distance from the center down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over towards the left and then the right side. Now I want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So let's start with the top left. And just loosely work our way around. The circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just using this as a guide. You can always go back and just smooth this out as best we can. Now with our circle in place, let's start blocking out the facial features. Let's start along the bottom. We're going to add a curve from left to right, going up and then down across the top edge of the nose. Now I want to add a gap in between the eyes. From that center line, let's move over toward the left, draw a straight line going up. Let's measure this distance from the center over towards the right and do the same thing. Now this curve along the bottom of our circle will be the top edge of the mouth. So let's start on the left side. We're just going to bend this around and then down to create a fold. Do the same thing on the right. Now let's draw the bottom of the mouth. We're going to step back in, curve this down, go across the middle, and then bend that up and then in underneath that fold on the right. Let's draw the outside of the cheeks and the mouth. Starting from the side of the nose, we're going to bend this out and then up on either side. Go around the mouth. And then we'll follow the curve of the mouth coming down in towards the center. Let's add the teeth in the middle. We're going to start in between the top and bottom of the mouth. Start with a straight line going across the middle. From the ends, angle this up and then out underneath. Now I want to add some shape to the eyes. Let's start from the inside of the left eye. We're going to go up, curve this around, and then back in towards the bottom. And do the same thing on the right, going around and then back in. Let's cover the top of the eyes with the wool. We're going to start on the left side. We're going to curve this down and up, almost like a half circle. Now layer the wool going out towards the side. So on the side, on the left, curve around and then up towards the top. Do the same thing on the right. Now let's add one more, coming around the corner of the mouth and then in towards the side of the head. Let's go to the center of each eye and draw a small circle for the pupils. Let's add in the ears. Starting from this point, curve this up and then out. Round out the ear, come down and then in towards the side. Now we want to draw the top fold of the ear. Starting up here, curve this up and then in towards the side of our circle. Now I want to add that wool going around the cheeks. Let's start from the left, curve this around and then back in. And step back and just layer this coming down towards the chin. I'm just going to pull this down to right about here. And then we'll do the same thing on the right, starting from the side, going around the cheek, and then in, and then layer this in, going down towards the bottom. Let's add that wool across the top, starting from the ear, curve this around and in, just working our way around the circle, just adding these little bumps going all the way around. Now with a rough sketch in place, let's go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. Now once we clean up our drawing, let's add that skull pendant over on the left side of center. So we're going to start underneath the chin. Just going to overlap a circle, go across the edge of the mouth. Now I want to angle this down. So we're going to draw a straight angled line coming down the center. Let's flatten off the bottom. Then on either side, pull this up in behind that circle. And then we're going to go back and just erase that detail inside the mouth. And now I'm going to switch my pencil to my 0.9mm and start adding some contrast and some more detail. So we'll start with the fur going across the center of the head. And you want to add some thickness across the bottom edge. And just layer this out going towards the sides. Let's add that fold across the top of the nose. Again, going a little bit thicker across the middle, and then tapering that out towards the side. Now along the side, we're just going to add the nostrils. Just pulling that in with a curve. And then curving and adding some shape to the inside edge of the eyes, going up underneath the fur. Now over on the right side, I'm going to add a little bit of dripping blood coming down from the mouth. So I'll start from the inside and add these little curves coming across the edge. I want to do one final cleanup before we add some more detail and shading. Now once we clean up our drawing, I'm going to go into the ears. I'm going to darken up the inside and then fade that out as you get in towards the tip. So the darkest area where the least amount of light is hitting is the inside of the ear. Let's darken up the inside of the eyes. And we want to go around the pupil. Now with the mouth, we want to darken up the top edge and just fade that out towards the side and the bottom. Now you can also move to the side edge of our 2mm pencil to fill in the rest of the mouth. So again, we just want to go darker on the top and then fade that down. We're just going to blend this in as best we can. Now the fur is going to cast a shadow in between the eyes. Just going to darken this up and then fade that down towards the nose. We're also going to cast a shadow from the mouth down towards the teeth, so we'll do the same thing. Darken up the top and then fading that down. And then the fur underneath the head, we're just going to darken that up into shadow and then gradually fade that up towards the side. Now with the fur going across the face, we're just going to darken up the bottom to give it a little bit of shape and then fade that up. So just pulling this in towards shadow along the bottom. I'm going to go back in and start adding a core shadow around the fur. So just adding a little bit of a highlight edge along the bottom. Add a little bit of texture inside the wool, the little spots. And as we get near the end, we'll finish adding in that texture, and always be sure to send out artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Baba Chops from Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you do, please be sure to subscribe for more videos each week where I'll try to draw different characters just like this. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.